So my wife and I decided to visit New Orleans for Thanksgiving this year. She had this bright idea of getting off the beaten path, and instead of staying in the Hyatt or the Hilton Hotel, which by the way I absolutely love, she wanted to Airbnb. So the house we rented was in a bywater, which is walking distance from the French Quarters. And we were scheduled to stay in New Orleans for 4 days. And when we arrived at this property, it was absolutely amazing. Walking distance from cafes and restaurants. And it had this beautiful outdoor courtyard with a fountain. I said this place was dope, and it was dope, like something out of a movie. The very first night, we went straight to the French Quarters and drank our asses off. Hand grenades. We spent 3 hours in Rick's Cabaret getting lap danced. We had one hell of a time. When we Ubered back to the house, it was 4 a.m. And although I was drunk off my ass, I couldn't help but notice that there was a light on in the house. Now, in the back of my mind, I knew we had turned off all the lights, except for the one on the front porch. But I was too drunk to give a damn. So we just went straight to bed. The next morning, we struggled to wake up and struggled even more to rehydrate ourselves after all the liquor we had. By the evening time, we were back at it and headed to one of the jazz clubs to see Kermit Ruffins. We had been there about a good 2 to 3 hours, and by that time, my wife was drunk all over again. I, on the other hand, chose not to drink because we went to a club in the hood. At the end of the night, when we arrived back at the house, there's a light on again. And I thought it was strange, but nonetheless, I walked my wife into the bedroom, tucked her in bed, and headed to the kitchen to get a bite of the leftover burger that I had from lunch. After eating, I laid in bed, watched a little TV, but as I lay there, I couldn't help but get this feeling that I was being watched. It was weird, and it came on all of a sudden. You know how people say they get goosebumps when something spooky's going on? Nah, this wasn't like that. It was like my skin started to crawl. I just felt uncomfortable. So with that feeling, I decided to close my eyes and go to sleep. I figured I was just tired. And as I drifted off to sleep, my attention was drawn to this vent in the floor of the room. For some reason, I felt as if there was a presence there. That feeling lasted for about 5 minutes, and then I blacked out. Later that morning, I was here about at 5:30 a.m. I was awakened to what sounded like something scratching on metal. Cindy, my wife, was still laying next to me in her drunken coma, but I knew I heard something. And this being an Airbnb, and with this being an Airbnb, I decided to get up and take a look around, just to make sure nobody entered the house. I turned on the lights. What I saw blew my mind. Remember that vent I was telling you about? There was this black smoke or this mist coming out of it. First it rose very slowly, and then it started spinning and spiraling, and it created this upside down tornado. Then it separated into these two thin streams and started moving towards the bed. Now all this is happening in the room with the lights on. For a moment, I stood there in shock. Shit, I didn't know what to do. But that's when I realized this black mist was moving towards Cindy. I quickly jumped on the bed, grabbed her, and yanked her from under the covers. Her heels hitting the floor as I dragged her out of the bed. This violent motion woke her up, and I think I heard her. She started to scream, and while all this is going on, I watched that same black mist move straight back into the vent. Now my wife is drunken, hurt, and pissed the fuck off. But I look her dead in the eyes and said, "Baby, get your shit. We're going to a hotel right now." She insisted on asking me why. I told her I would explain it to her later. We grabbed as much as we could get, and we got the hell out of there. When we arrived at the hotel, I told her what I saw and what was going on. And during this conversation, she revealed something very, very frightening to me. You see, my wife thought we had made love that night, but we didn't. I had put her in bed, watched TV, and fell asleep. I'm convinced that we encountered an incubus. I never told the story to anyone, Dark Waters. But to this day, my wife will not sleep without me spooning her.